Folks, the wheel is back. That's right. In this edition of the Sports Saga podcast, our old friend makes its faithful return. The wheel will spin 6 times, and Keegan and I will have 5 minutes max to discuss the topic that it lands on. That's all coming up on this edition of the Sports Saga podcast. Cue the intro.
I'm the one to say he's the basement coach of the year.
They're going to get something rolling.
The Michael Vick jersey is alive and well. Still looking for sponsors. So if you or someone you know is interested in sponsoring us, literally comment on this video or episode. Shoot us a DM on Instagram, email, call, text, whatever. Just email us, thesportsagapod@gmail.com. Just get it to us. Trying to grow our brand here. We have, as mentioned before, an old friend is back. And no, I don't mean the Michael Vick jersey sported by Keegan Hamlet. I mean the wheel. The U.S. women's national team, who plays tomorrow in their second of two friendlies against Colombia. The Live Golf, which actually, if we get that, which we'll get to all of these eventually, I'm really excited to touch upon that. The NBA draft, I'm going to share my two favorite picks. Actually, I'll do one of my favorite picks and one of my not so favorite picks. The MLB in the AL East, what's going on there. Keegan will touch upon Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. The MLS, particularly LAFC. I'm so mad about that. I really, really am. All right.
I think everybody not in the LA area is mad about that.
100%. Well, if you're a Galaxy fan, you're contemplating just rooting for like Vancouver or like some completely irrelevant team. All right. So I'm loading the timer here. All right, ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Woohoo!
We're going to remove that. Keegan Hamlet. 5 minutes.
Start it out with this, Brady.
Go.
The most unlikely person to score the game-winning goal. We saw it last year when Montreal advanced to the final last year. But Artturi Lehkonen for Colorado, when you have all that skill offensively and defensively too, he was one of the biggest surprises for me last night. And I want to touch upon the final 30 seconds. I was surprised icing was not called towards the end on Colorado. I know Hedman slowed down trying to get the icing call, and it was very close. Little controversial. When I was watching it, I couldn't believe it. And I rewinded it for my dad afterwards, and he thought it was icing, but
no, I think it
should have ended differently.
I think it should have been. But did you see Kucherov? The last 20 seconds, he needed a new stick and he quit on them. He threw his gloves and walked. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. And there was also Landeskog. He lost his blade on a blocked shot, and the Colorado teammates actually had to carry him to the bench in the final minute. So that's something else that was noteworthy from yesterday too. But I think everybody who's not a Lightning fan and whose name is not Colin is very happy Colorado won.
Your friend Colin.
And also, right. Luca Celebre, bar down. Shout out to him, the big Avs fan. But I'm happy McKinnon gets.
You know him?
Who?
Luca?
No, I don't know him.
Oh, I know that was.
No.
All right.
I'm happy McKinnon got his ring, and I'm happy Colorado won it. I think they were the team that's been deserving it. I mean, nobody deserves a championship, but they've built that core the last 5-6 years, and I think it's very safe to say that they deserve that championship.
Oh, no questions asked. I mean, does this solidify the McKinnon versus McDavid debate?
No, it doesn't. No, McDavid is always going to be the better player just because of his skill. McDavid's problem is just he's not on a strong defensive team, and there's not as much depth on that team. That's not saying McKinnon's bad. McKinnon's obviously I'll put him top 10 in the league. I'll put him maybe top
I'll put him top
7.
5 in the league, top 3.
He's up there, but I see, like, even as of right now, I'm still putting Matthews above McKinnon because a cup is a team effort. It's not just based on one person.
But okay, Matthews chokes in the playoffs. What does he do in the playoffs?
It's not one player though. It's a whole team. Toronto's problem in the playoffs was goaltending.
I would go McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, and then that 4th spot is wide open. You could argue Cale Makar. You could argue
defensive wise, like
you
I'm
could
not a fan of
argue
getting defensive players.
Kucherov. You could argue I don't even know who. Barkov, Huberdeau, Goudreau.
I mean, for me, you asked the question, does it solidify the McKinnon McDavid debate? No, McDavid's
Okay.
still going to be number 1.
Okay. Topic number 2. Finished with 1:30 left, so that was actually pretty good. All right. Okay,
This is your topic, Brady.
my topic here. All right. Timing myself starting now. Let me start by saying that the Boston Red Sox need to be buyers of the trade deadline. At one point in the year when they were, I believe it was 5 or 6 games under 500, it was like, oh my God, blow the whole thing up. Trade Bogarts, trade Devers, trade Martinez, and just start over. And that's not the case anymore. As much as I think they should still trade Bogarts because, like, here's my thing, right? And as much as, they have the money to pay both Devers and Bogarts. And we all know Chaim Bloom is not one to spend money, doesn't like to do it. Which is why I was very critical of the Red Sox bringing him into the first place. I did not like that move because he's a Rays guy, right? However, I understood it when they brought him in, and it was to develop the farm system and to make this team better long term. I get it. I just didn't like it. Devers or Bogarts? Devers. Like, he's the better player all around. He's arguably the best third baseman in Major League Baseball. Arguably. Yes, there's Arenado, Jose Ramirez I'd put above him, but that's it. Like, when you think in the grand scheme of things, that's it. That's it. Manny Machado, maybe. I know Machado just got hurt, but I'd say Devers is the second best third baseman in all of baseball.
That's fair.
To Jose Ramirez. Pay him. For the love of God, pay him. Trade Bogarts. Get a high quality relief pitcher. I'm not saying call the Milwaukee Brewers. I know it's not a phone, but hey, we'll give you Bogarts if you give us Josh Hader. Like, I'm not saying that, right? Like that, let's be realistic. That's not going to happen. But go get a high quality. If you're not going to get a high quality reliever and like a decent, outfield prospect or something, you think of like an aging position, right? Just go get, like, you take a team. I saw this. It was Xander Bogaerts to the Cardinals, right? And the return was 3 of their top 25 prospects. I was like, all right, well, that makes sense. But at the same time, I would want a good reliever.
Yeah.
Like I would, because that's what they need. They need a bullpen. They do. So again, Bogarts to the Cardinals for maybe like Dakota Hudson. I think that's realistic. I mean, he's a starter and reliever. They can use him in both roles. So we'll see. I can't believe I'm going to say this. This will be my last time because I want to specify in the AL East here. I give credit to the New York Yankees. And I can't believe I just said that, but it's the truth. 16 no-hit innings in a row.
I know.
And they came back and Judge hit that 3-run home run. He's the AL MVP. In my humble opinion. It's either him or Jose Ramirez. And I'm going to give the edge to Judge. Just because of where his team is at.
Yeah.
Team performance. They've already hit 50 wins. they're not winning the World Series. Like, I just don't. I mean, every time the Yankees seem to do good, they just collapse in the postseason.
It's like Toronto and hockey.
What's up?
Like Toronto and
Oh,
hockey.
100%, 100%. Yankees fans are still stuck in 2008. As I say that, our sponsor, Aldias Electric, is a Yankee fan.
Oh no.
We've had so many friendly debates about that over the years. It's fine. He can take it. Shout out Al and the fam. But yeah, I mean, I give them credit to come back. They were down, I believe, 3 or 4 runs, and it was a great come from behind win yesterday by the New York Yankees. And again, Judge is my MVP favorite so far. Ended with 49 seconds. All right. Doing this again here. Let's go. All right. I'm interested to hear what you have to say, my friend. Because,
all right, yep.
I mean, they weren't. Why can't I make this full screen? Oh, no. I stopped sharing. No, I didn't. It moved. The sharing thing moved. That's awkward. And I didn't even like pin myself on the last one. Oh, well. I'm interested to hear what you have to say, because they were down 0-0. They were tied 0-0 at the half. And then they came back and they scored 3 second half goals. Your analysis thus far.
I'm going to tell you, since the Olympics, that was the worst half I've ever seen from the U.S. women's national team. They looked out of shape, not really out of shape, but like out of sync.
Sure.
And they're just misreading some passes, and they were totally dominating possession. I'm not saying that, because how many shots did Colombia get on net? Like maybe 1?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. So their defensive half, like Sarah Brennan and O'Hara, they did fine in the back half.
It was the offense.
Yeah, it was the offense. I mean, they were getting chances too. It was just not putting it on target and like misreading some of the passes. But Sophia Smith, second half, made a good statement for herself, getting 2 goals. And then it was the new player. It was her first cap, and she's the tallest player ever to debut for the U.S. women's national team. Scores a header goal right in that.
Who was it? I didn't see, honestly. I didn't see a lot of that.
I forget her name. She's like 6'1". And it was a beautiful set piece, that last goal. It was right off a free kick from Rapinoe, I think.
How tall is Rodman's kid?
I have no idea.
She's gonna be pretty tall. I don't know. I know she's good. I know that. That's all I know. Trinity Rodman.
Yeah. The U.S. is in Utah tomorrow. You can't start the way you did on Saturday night.
No. Especially in that climate too.
Exactly.
I saw it kind of similar to the Revs yesterday, where they weren't fit. They when they were in that final third, they looked like garbage. They did. The Revs looked like garbage last night in the final third, and I think that's how the first half of that match, that friendly, went. So, give me a realistic scoreline for tomorrow, and just what's going to happen. Give me what's going to happen first half. Give me what's going to happen second half, and give me the final scoreline.
I'll still give you 4-0. I still think they'll be like, I don't want to say world class, because that would be like 10-0.
Oh yeah.
Or like 13-0 in the World Cup. No, I'll give you 4-0. I'm going to expect 2 goals on each side of the half, because I still expect some of the more inexperienced players to start in the first half, and then you can bring in Morgan, Rapinoe. You could even bring in O'Hara the second half if you want to do that. I see it being split. Colombia, I think they'll do better with more chances. And I'm going to tell you this: they could have had 5 goals, but Colombia's goalkeeper Perez, 2 great penalty kick saves.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do that.
All right. Finished with about 2-ish minutes. That's good. All right. You have a 1 in 3 shot of talking. I have a 2 in 3 shot. All right. Okay. This was the one I was most excited to talk about, because there were some moments of this draft I said, spot on. Nailed it. Beautiful. Other moments of this draft, I'm like, what on God's green, beautiful earth are you thinking? Let's start with the positives. My favorite pick of this draft, we're talking about long-term, what I see is Jaden Ivey to the Detroit Pistons. He was my favorite, and I'm not like biased. I mean, I'm a little biased because he was my favorite player to watch in all of college basketball last year. And that's coming from a Friar fan, right? Like, you don't like Jared Bynum? No, I love it. I hated Jared Bynum before that Georgetown game where he dropped 30, where he had a 32-piece chicken McNugget. But then after that, I was like, this kid's great, right? But no, Ivy was my favorite player to watch last year, and a really good Purdue team who I think they got to the second weekend of March Madness here. But what I love about Ivy is that he does a little bit of everything. He's a phenomenal shooter. He's got a great in and out game as well. And he's a great finisher. The defense, it's not elite, but it's getting there. And he really has all the tools to become a world-class player in the NBA. So why do I like this pick? Well, because he's with last year's number 1 overall pick, Cade Cunningham, who, again, he's very similar to Ivy, skill set wise, except that he's a better defender, I think, than Ivy is. And Ivy's transition game, I think, is a little bit better than Cade's. But this is a Detroit team that has potential. I think if they go out and spend a little bit of money, I know the DeAndre Ayton rumors to Detroit, they were high, and I think they shot down a little bit. But I mean, they got some pieces. They got Isaiah Stewart in there. I know that as a center here. I think they have another wingman. Let me check. Come on.
I'll say quickly while you're
Yeah,
looking.
go ahead, find it.
I like Chet Holmgren as one of the picks, going second overall.
One of the best for Oklahoma City, yeah, because it's what they need.
Yeah, it's another like young pick on a young team.
And
like
you know
Detroit.
what? And if that doesn't work out, that's all right, because they've got like 97 draft picks in the next 3 years. Who is that other guy? All right. Bagley, who I think we could consider Marvin Bagley a bust at this rate.
That's you. You can say whatever. I'm not going to say a word about that.
Okay. Marvin Bagley's a bust. Sadiq Bey, who held his own last year. I think he had a really good year. So between him, Ivy Cunningham, my hand is right in the way. I'm sorry. Isaiah Stewart, who was a smaller big. But I really think, realistically, this could be the starting 5 of that team. Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren, which was another guy.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. They have Jalen Duren, and they have Luka Garza. So, and I know Garza was a second-round pick, but he's the greatest, in my opinion. He's the greatest to ever don the Hawkeye black and gold. He's the greatest ever. So, I mean, give them that battle. That's not a playoff team by no means. They need some more veterans. The average age of this team is probably like 24, 25. Yeah. They got some veterans off the bench like Corey Joseph, and Kelly Olynyk. For this point, I guess you could consider Hamidou Diallo and a veteran. He's 23, but I feel like he's been playing for 80 years. It's an exciting time. If I'm a Detroit, and especially you have a great basketball mind and Dwayne Casey at the helm there. So I mean, if I'm a Detroit Piston fan, I'm optimistic about the future. I don't think this is going to be one of those collapsed,
No.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where this team goes.
And you and I mentioned this the other day. It's a process. It's going to take time. It's like Philly. It's going to take time to contend. There's going to be some down years in between.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's what, like we talked about Houston, that's what they're committed to the process.
Yeah.
They're committed to the rebuild. And one day it's going to work. And I thoroughly believe, again, Houston, that's going to be a team to watch in quite a few years here. All right. 2 topics left. I think I came in, I was pretty close on that. All right. Your final topic of the day, my friend. The MLS, specifically LAFC, you know what? I'm too mad to speak. I'm too mad. Go ahead.
All right. So the first I heard about it was from one of the hockey guys. He sent me the
No,
post.
I told you first.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No, Noah
Are you
sent it
kidding
to
me?
Noah sent it to me first on Instagram.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you for real? Because I can't believe it. 'Cause didn't they just get what was it? Cavallini? Not Cavallini.
Giolini. Yep.
Oh, Giolini, that's
And
it.
they're both not DPs.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
So yeah, so even if you want more DPs, like I don't know if they already have the 3 that you're allowed.
They have one, and it's Bella.
Yeah, and you still get to bring in 2 more, so you can bring in whoever you want as a DP. But great moves by LAFC over the last few weeks.
Oh, 100%.
As much as I hate to say it.
No, 100. I mean, I give them credit because they're smart, but it's
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
no, seriously though. I mean this. If they don't win MLS Cup, Fire
Failures
Steve.
of signing.
fire Steve Cherundolo immediately. Immediately. He was he did Nations League games for Fox as a studio analyst. He was a great studio analyst. He's got a second career lined up for him if this doesn't go well. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, you're bringing in the best Italian defender over the last 15 to 20 years, and you're bringing in arguably the greatest Welsh player ever. Led them to the World Cup for the first time in over 75 years. I believe it's 75, 70, 75, something like that. Have to win MLS Cup. It's finals or bust. It really is at this point for the Wings.
If they win MLS Cup when the US plays Wales in the World Cup, just fly.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It really is finals or bust.
It is. I don't want to say you could compare that to the Revs last year. I really don't.
I think it was finals or bust for the Revs last year.
I mean, I was saying
won
that
the
more for
Supporters
I was
Shield.
saying that more for the U.S. women's team last year in the Olympics.
Look, you had the greatest.
The greatest
Statistically speaking, you had the greatest team ever.
I know.
100 points.
Yeah. Well,
100
points. 73 points.
73. Oh, I thought it was 100. Oh, not even close. All right.
No, but the Revs were more not really signing overseas players. I mean, they had Books.
They need to do more of that, but continue.
Yeah, they had Bo 2019, Books of 2020, but this is LAFC's chance. This is their chance, and they need to build on this. I'm sure they will. I'm sure it might not be immediate success. It might take time to just get like into the formations, stuff like that.
But it needs to be. By immediate, I mean, if they come out and lose the first game, I can already see the media is going to be like, "Oh my god, oh my god." No. But like, immediate success means an MLS Cup final appearance this year.
By mid-July, they got to be on something.
They were first place in the West, right?
I have no idea.
I thought they were top 3, but nonetheless, I mean, again, look at who you're bringing in, please. Like, come on. I still think they got to get another midfielder. And I think I was watching an LAFC game. They were playing Seattle, and I saw Kellen Acosta come off the bench. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Why is he coming off the bench?
Acosta.
I like him.
I think he's good. I think he's a good leader and a good passer.
Comes off the bench.
Also,
what's up?
Yeah, LAFC is first in the West by 4 points, and they have a game in hand.
Okay.
Beautiful.
That trend should continue. And our last topic, I'm not even going to show the wheel, is the Live Golf. And I'll try to make this quick because I want to touch upon soccer again because the Revs have still done nothing. I know this has received a lot of criticism. And a lot of criticism, and a lot of players have been deemed selfish. But at the same time, I don't really like the people that are backing Live Golf. It's the Saudi Arabian regime. Very sexist people, very homophobic people. Like, women do not have the same rights in the Middle East as women do here. So that's another discussion for another day. I won't get into it. but it's good for golf. And what I mean by that is it provides more competition for the PGA. You know, I mean, we have the USGA who does the US Open, but like that's it. That's it. So I think it just provides another avenue for players, kind of like we see with college basketball now. We have Overtime Elite, we have G League Ignite, we have, you know, the NBL players go to down in Australia and they play professionally for a year or two, and then they enter their names in the draft. Like, again, I don't like the people that back it, but it's good for golf and it makes sense. It just provides players another opportunity to, you know, make some more money for their families and set themselves up for a good future, I guess one could say. So that's all. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to. I'll probably get hate for saying that, but I'll leave it at that. I will. Do you, my friend, have any last minute thoughts or anything else that's coming to mind here?
Any topic?
Can the Revs just get a striker for the love of God?
Can you say that, not say that they're bad because they're riding a 9-game point streak right now?
They should have won last night.
Yeah, they should have. I'll take the road point though. You know, I take points.
I won't.
I'll take the road tie.
It's Vancouver. They're not good. They can't attack.
I'll give you this. Shout out for Vancouver, Cody Cropper, former Revs goalie. Been
Oh,
battling
yeah?
some injuries. He's getting some time in there. He started, I think, 8 of the last 9 games.
Oh yeah.
So good for him. I'm happy to see him doing well there.
I know we were talking about like overseas, but I mean the Revs have brought guys in from overseas, but like Serbia and Russia, not like France. You know what I mean? Like, I saw Turner got unveiled today.
Yeah, I saw that jersey.
That's-
First post I saw on Instagram this morning. Not happy.
You're happy for him though.
I guess, but you know when 2022 comes around in November, and if he's not going to get the playing time, I just don't see. I don't know how that's going to affect
So
him.
I saw this with Stefan.
Yeah,
Man
whether
City's
he
letting
leaves
him leave on loan.
Man City or not.
Man City's letting Stefan leave on loan.
Okay.
They didn't say where, but I'd be surprised, especially with Burnley, especially with Newcastle signing Nick Pope from Burnley, who he seems, and he got one of the best English goalkeepers in the world, second to probably Jordan Pickford. Well, and Aaron Ramsdale, actually. I put Ramsdale over Pope, but Bernardino is going to stick around because there were the rumors for him to go to Newcastle. So it makes all the sense for Turner to say, "Hey, I know you just signed me, but I've got a World Cup in November. If you can loan me to like Sheffield United."
Yeah, but is that going to be like a bad first impression on our side? Like they'll probably understand where he's coming from, but do you think that might put a thing like you care for country more than you do for club?
Doesn't everyone care for country more than club?
No, I get that, but everybody
honestly,
should be fighting for
Except maybe like Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
I know one person who I know for a fact who cares about country more than club. Two guys, Gareth Bale and Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna do it for this edition of the Sports Saga podcast. Share, subscribe, you know the drill. Just do it. It's all in that link below.
Everything's listed down.
Everything's down below. Shout out Al Dias. Shout out D. Scott Fretchen. We're going to be meeting him in person sometime next week. Very excited for that. All right. Take care, everyone.